do that right now. Specifically, I want to look, what I had said was, look, what Justin was talking about was in Malachi's prophecy about this offering around the world. Rome says, see, that's the Mass. Now, at the same time, they will inconsistently say, well, yeah, our current understanding of the concept of the Eucharistic sacrifice evolved over time. And it didn't exist in Justin's day. But we'll still look back to that and say this somehow fits together. It doesn't. I tried to sort of bring some of that stuff up. But it comes out just by reading Justin. And so in chapter 117, this comes out with the most clarity. There's 3 places in Justin's dialogue with Trypho this comes out. But it's very, very clear here. His argument is this. Trypho is a Jew. So he is arguing with Trypho, the Jew. And he's saying, your religion cannot give a fulfillment of what is in Malachi chapter 1, verse 11, where you have this prophecy. And it's not quoted here. So, for from the rising of the sun even to its setting, my name will be great among the nations, and in every place incense is going to be offered to my name, and a grain offering that is pure. For my name will be great among the nations, says Yahweh of hosts. But you are profaning it, verse 12, in that you say the table of the Lord is defiled, and as for its food is to be despised. So, Justin's argument is that this has never been and cannot be fulfilled amongst the Jewish people. It never has been, and it cannot now be fulfilled amongst Jewish people. So what is this making great of his name, or this incense, or this grain offering? What is this all about? Justin's argument is that is fulfilled in the thanksgiving. He kept saying Eucharist, and what he's doing is he's taking a later development, reading it back into the thanksgiving prayers of the Christian people around the world. Has nothing to do with the whole concept of transubstantiation, Eucharist as a propitiatory sacrifice, the necessity of a priesthood, and all the rest of that stuff. None of that is present in what Justin is saying. And this comes out in his own words. Section 117, dialogue with Trypho. Justin, accordingly, God, anticipating all the sacrifices which we offer through this name, and which Jesus Christ enjoined on us to offer, that is, in the Eucharist, that is the thanksgiving of the bread and the cup, and which are presented by Christians in all places, which are presented throughout the world, bears witness that they are well-pleasing to him. But he utterly rejects those presented by you, and by those priests of yours, saying, and I will not accept your sacrifices at your hands, for from the rising of the sun to its setting, my name is glorified among the Gentiles, he says, but you profane it. That is verses 10 through 12, so that's the same section. Yet even now, in your love of contention, you assert that God does not accept the sacrifices of those who dwelt then in Jerusalem and were called Israelites, but says that he is pleased with the prayers of the individuals of that nation when dispersed, and calls their prayers sacrifice. So in other words, Trypho's arguing that there is fulfillment in the dispersion of the Jews in their prayers. Now, Justin then says that prayers and giving of thanks when offered by worthy men are the only perfect and well-pleasing sacrifices to God. I also admit. So Trypho has argued, well, the fulfillment is found in the dispersed Jews and their prayers. And Justin says, well, you know what? The prayers of just men? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not a Eucharistic sacrifice, not transubstantiation, nothing like you have in the modern Roman Mass, but in the thanksgiving prayers of the Christian people. For such alone, Christians, such alone have Christians undertaken to offer, and in the remembrance, anamnesis, Remembrance, not repetition, not representation, anamnesis. Remember, we have an anamnesis of a sin bearer, whereas under the repetitive sacrifices, you have a reminder of sin, which is what you have in the Mass. For such alone, Christians have undertaken to offer, and in the remembrance effected by their solid and liquid food, the bread and the cup, whereby the suffering of the Son of God which he endured is what? Brought to mind, not represented, no transubstantiation, not there, whose name the high priests of your nation and your teachers have caused to be profaned and blasphemed over all the earth. There's Justin's own explanation of his own understanding of Malachi 1, and it has no place in the modern Roman system. So I had said to, I think it was Joe was the caller, he actually tweeted me this morning. I said to Joe, I said that he was talking about Thanksgiving. He wasn't talking about some type of Eucharistic sacrifices involving transubstantiation, propitiatory sacrifices that do not perfect those that are made, for whom it is made, etc., etc., etc. There's the words of Justin himself. Wanted you to see it. There's straight out of the Ante-Nicene Fathers, Volume 1, Section 117, Dialogue with Trypho. You got to go to the documentation. You got to go to the documentation.